Welcome, everyone, to the Basic Pro Agent Academy graduation ceremony for Class 121. Please stand for the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Good morning, everyone. As the commanding commander, it is my distinct pleasure and honor to be here to celebrate the achievement of these students becoming pro agents for the Division of Adult Pro Operations. First, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce the dignitaries that are present with us today in person or online. First, Marvin Speed, Assistant Deputy Director of Division of Adult Pro Operations. Denise Labard, Regional Administrator for Northern Region. Karen Thacker, Regional Administrator for Southern Region. Julie Kaplan, Chief Deputy Regional Administrator. Welcome. Now, I'd like to give some special thanks to the entire Office of Training and Professional Development. Our academy will not be able to function without their support and assistance. Thank you, Associate Director Stacy Lopez, Academy Administrator John Spites, Captain Josh Meckley, Lieutenant Boggs, and Sergeant Bernetti. Next, I would like to acknowledge the hard work of my unit, the Division Training Unit. They worked numerous hours preparing, organizing, and supervising this academy. Thank you, Brian Nakayama, Jeff Robles, Brandon Moore, June Katico, Anthony Corral, Carla Fish, Greg Preto, Brandon Balanza, Pearl Cazon, and Jesus Oliveras. Thank you for your dedication and hard work. We are here to graduate these students of Class 121 for successfully completing all the training requirements to graduate from the Basic Pro Agent Academy. In particular, with Class 121, on Monday, December 7th, 2020, 38 students entered the Academy classroom to embark on a new chapter in their career. Who are these students? This class had former probation officers, social workers, correctional officers, sergeant, and counselors. These students had to receive 11 weeks of lectures, practical exercises, examination, teach-backs, learning how to parallel park, simulation, tactical, and social work training. This class also had to adapt and work through some significant changes in the academy. In particular, this class was the first class to receive online academy courses for the first time. They received these for approximately 4 weeks. It was not an easy task, but they accomplished it. With hard work and determination today, we are proud to be adding 35 new parole agents to the family of the Division of Adult Parole Operations. We are extremely privileged to have with us today our Assistant Deputy Director, Marvin Speed, who will be speaking on behalf of our Director, Guillermo Vieira Rosa, and will be providing us with the Director's message. Marvin Speed holds an undergraduate degree from Syracuse University and a Syracuse doctorate from the Washington College of Law at American University. He has extensive career in public service, having worked for the Civil Rights Division of the United States Department of Justice, the United States Secret Service, the United States Department of Defense as Attorney Advisory, and Deputy Chief Counsel. Mr. Speed also has worked as a Deputy Commissioner, Associate Chief Deputy Commissioner, and Executive Officer for the California Board of Prison Terms. He transitioned from the Board of Adult Parole in 2006 and held positions of the High-Risk Sex Offender Program Manager, Unit Supervisor, District Administrator, Social Director, and is currently the Acting Deputy Director. Please welcome Marvin Speed to the podium.
Thank you, Mike, and good morning. Congratulations on your accomplishments and your achievements. I know it wasn't easy. It's been a long 11 weeks for you. I want to echo what Mr. Trujillo just mentioned. You are the first class in state parole history to undergo remote learning to the extent that you have. I know it wasn't easy. Personally, I'm not a fan of remote learning. I think we get more from face-to-face interaction in the class. But it's something that's necessary to protect each other, protect staff and citizens at the Academy and in the community, and your families. And I want to acknowledge DTU for making this switch midstream in the middle of your coursework. It was a monumental task, and they pulled it off. So I want to thank DTU staff for everything that you did to make this happen. So thank you very much. Normally at these graduations, this room would be filled with your friends, family, and loved ones sitting behind you. They would have been taking pictures and shouting your names as you walked in. It's a monumental a moment in your career history and your lifetime. And unfortunately, we don't have that ability today. So one of the things I want you to do when you get home, take a moment to get with your loved ones, your family, your support groups, and just thank them. I know they're preserving this moment, and they will be posting it, I believe, online at some point in time. And I know it's different, but we appreciate your patience and your ability to work through these issues. So you're coming to the end of your Parole Agent Academy, but it's just the beginning of your career as a parole agent. Hopefully it'll be a long and rewarding career for you. And I know you're anxious to get going, so I'll try to keep my comments short. But there are 3 areas I want to touch on to hopefully give you something to think about. One is, what does it mean to be a parole agent? Second, I'll talk a little bit about your clients, the parolees that you will be working with. And third, I'll discuss briefly the Division of Adult Parole Operations and where we see the future. So as a parole agent, obviously you have to wear many hats. You're a social worker, you're a mentor, you're a counselor, you're a mediator, and at times you will be an enforcement officer and handcuff folks and take them off to jail. It's a skill that not many people have, to wear all those hats and be effective. It's a testament to you that you're here. As there are thousands of people that want to become parole agents, not many end up sitting where you're sitting today. And I just want to note that you are excellent individuals, and we're proud of your accomplishments in getting to where you are today. When you get to your units, you're going to be handed a caseload, and as some folks to my right can attest, The new agents don't always get the best cases when they come through the door. You're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel like you're sinking, and you're going to be stressed. Do take the time to get to know your caseloads. They're individuals. They're not just check boxes. They're not fungible widgets. It will serve you better if you take the time to learn about each parolee on your caseload. Even if you don't get the ideal file coming through the door, take the time to dig into each one. You're going to need to work with stakeholders in the community, community program workers, local law enforcement. Learn the resources that you have in the community. Learn who your contacts are going to be that are going to help you maneuver through your days, your months, your weeks, and serve your clients. It will serve you greatly to build relationships in the community that you work, and we'll touch on that a little bit more in a minute. There is a book and a video series called Emotional Survival for Law Enforcement. Some of you that are peace officers have probably seen it or heard of it. If you haven't, I'd recommend you get that book. There is the clientele that you're dealing with, the situations that you're dealing with are going to be emotionally draining to you. It's going to wear you out over time. You may not even realize it. Your family will realize it. But don't let what you see, what you hear, what you experience, and your day-to-day job affect you to the point that it interferes with your family life. It's very important for you to have balance, physically, emotionally, mentally. Be in tune with yourself. Don't just hang out with cops and parole agents when you're off the job. Spend time coaching your kids, being involved in community groups, taking trips with your family. You have to take your vacations. You have to do things that are going to keep your mind centered and focused. Your job is important, but it's also very stressful, so it's extremely important for you to stay centered. So keep that in mind. The other thing I will let you know is some folks during their career, they like being a parole agent one, they love their work, and that's fine. I would encourage all of you to take advantage of any learning opportunity, any training opportunity, any chance to interview for positions, whether they be out of class or whether they be promotional. Every little bit of that helps you along the way. It's good to have options, even if you don't want to exercise them. But, sure as I'm standing here 10 years from now, some of you are going to be unit supervisors, parole administrators. One of you may be standing up here addressing a parole class that's graduating. So take advantage of the opportunities that are there for you. Use it as a building block for your career. Now, your clients. The parolees that we serve they can be difficult at times. Some of them are ready for change. Some of them are not. Some of them can be encouraged to change, and with your help, they can get on the right path. Some of them are not ready for change, and some of them are, frankly, dangerous. So when you get that caseload as you're going through it, take the time to determine which ones are ready for change. These are the ones you're going to work with. They're going to be your accomplishments that you're getting to the finish line. And when I say accomplishments, have a short-term program goal to get them to have a long-term result. Success for us now means this individual has adjusted to parole. You're acting as a change agent. We've gotten to the point where this person is now no longer a threat to the community or a threat to re-victimize or victimize folks, and they're a tax-paying member of society, or they're productive, and they've earned the opportunity to be considered for a discharge. That's your goal with your clientele. Now, we know you're not going to get there with all of them, but when I say know your caseload, know which ones are amenable for change. There's going to be a middle group that don't seem like they're quite there, but if you put the work and time into it, you can get them there. They're worth the effort. Then there's going to be a small group that are not ready for change, or they're not amenable to change, and they're going to cause you immeasurable problems as well. So you'll learn to balance. And the reason I'm telling you this is because you're going to have taxes on your time. You're not going to have the time to be thorough as you want with each and every parolee. So you're going to have to carve out, where's my time best spent? And especially when you first come out, because you're going to feel like you're sinking, and it's just a lot. So determine which parolees are easiest and best for you to work with, that you're going to get results. Put the time in, and you'll know in short order which ones are not ready or not amenable. So that's what I say, get to know your caseload. So a lot of these parolees are manipulative, extremely manipulative. The difference for those of you that were correctional officers, you were, in essence, you're doing count, you're telling them it's chow time, it's whatever, it's a regimented day. Now we are more of an advocate, and we're working with the parolees that are ready and want to be helped and need to be helped to try to get them from point A to point B. So it's a different dynamic. And here's one thing I'll tell you. During your career as a parole agent, something is going to happen. One of your parolees, you're going to wake up and they're going to be on the front page of the paper, or they're going to be on the news. We had yesterday a parolee in San Diego tried to kill his significant other and bury her on Coronado Beach. She wasn't dead, and fortunately they found her, but it's a national story. Not a month ago, there was a Sacramento Sheriff's deputy named Adam and his K-9 partner that were killed here in Sacramento by a parolee. Mental health issues. He had a gun. His mother knew he had a gun. She didn't tell anybody. She didn't tell anybody he was in crisis. But bad things are going to happen. You can't dwell on that. You do your job to the best of your ability. What I will tell you is follow policy, follow the DOM, follow the law, and when something happens, you're not going to get in trouble. It's when folks don't do that, and I can assure you, when something big happens, and we find out about it always, they're going to start to go through your case with a microscope. They're going to be Monday morning quarterbacking. They're going to go through every contact or every contact that should have occurred. They're going to go through every note, and sometimes bad things happen. But follow policy. If you don't know policy, go to your supervisor, ask them to interpret the policy for you or explain it to you. We have a policy procedure unit. You can always email with any questions you have about a policy if you don't understand. Follow policy, follow the DOM, follow the law, and you will be fine no matter what happens. Now, where's the department heading? Where are we going? There was a time, in those of us that have been here for years, it goes in cycles. It's tough on crime, it's relax a little bit. It's tough on crime, it's relax a little bit. Something happens, and you end up with a Jessica's Law or a Marcy's Law. Then we have jail overcrowding, and there's too many people in prison, and we want to shut down a prison. It goes in cycles. It goes up and down. There was a time when we were younger agents that we had zero tolerance policies. We would do sweeps, and if parolees jaywalking, take them to jail. Just lock them up, lock them up, lock them up. It took a while to really figure out that this doesn't work, it doesn't help. You can warehouse folks for a short period of time, but then you're putting them back out on the street in the same environment. You haven't addressed their criminogenic needs. I hope you guys know what criminogenic needs means. Have they discussed that, sir? Dynamic factors which, if left unaddressed, may lead to future criminal behavior. Education, substance abuse, parenting skills, anger management, polysubstance abuse. Hopefully, as a department, we've changed. We've started to program these folks on the inside. ISUDT, Integrated Substance Use Disorder Treatment, MAT, medical treatment. They should be starting their program on the inside, and what we want is a continuum of care, and then we're picking them up as they're being released, And now they have these dynamic factors of being out in the community, and now we're going to do our part to make sure that they get to the end goal, which would be to be a productive citizen that doesn't victimize folks in the community. So there are 5, I'll call them principles. Right now, we'll probably hear some more about this later. As a division, what we're concerned with, I mentioned one, employee wellness. We're acutely interested in the physical and emotional well-being of our staff. There's an old leadership joke that I saw years ago. It basically, the deputy chief is talking to the chief, and he's saying, hey, we got these new folks. What if we spend all this money training them and then they leave and go somewhere else? And the response is, well, what if we don't train them and they stay? So good folks are going to promote, good folks are going to leave and do other things. It's not for us to worry about that. Our job is to make sure that you are the best trained agents in the nation and that you have the tools and equipment that you need to be effective in doing your job. So employee wellness is one. A concept, and I touched on this, of the parole agent being an advocate. Back in the day, parolee would show up after being released from jail or prison. It'd be a 30 or 40-year-old parolee, and their mom is driving them into the parking lot and coming in, and the agent, hey, you're a grown man, why is your mom here? You know, man up. We're not about that anymore. We recognize that the family unit, the support systems are important to the successful adjustment and integration of our population. So you want to get to know and have the family unit or support systems on your side. Now, a lot of these parolees, their support unit might be their fellow gang members. Some of them don't have family support, and that's where they're going to turn to you. And that's when I say you need to advocate for them. We're trying to get them to change. We're trying to get them to a specific point, and you're going to be an advocate for change. Not just for the parolee, but for the victims of crime, for the folks in the community, and anyone that you come in contact with. So be an advocate. Third, and we've spoke about this already, value family as participants in the process. The old saying is it takes a village to raise a child. We recognize that if a parolee comes home and the family is like, oh no, here he comes again, hide the jewelry and the cash, we'll just have to put up with him until he goes back to jail. Well, those times are gone. What we're talking about is, suppose that same parolee comes home now and he's got a bag of groceries that he comes in the door with his parole agent, and they're like, well, wait a minute. He's actually contributing now. Maybe I can get this parolee to have some self-esteem. The problem is they don't have anything to lose, but if we get them to the point where they have something to lose, their self-esteem is built up, and they start to get integrated back into the family unit. But you need to get in good with the family and the support system, because they're the ones that are going to tell you when the parolee is starting to stray, or when he's starting to fall off, or when he's having problems, or he's hanging around with the wrong folks. And that's important because we can head off some problems if we know about them in the front end. You want the family to be your ally as opposed to looking at you as the enemy. And that's going to be hard in some of the neighborhoods you're going into, because a lot of folks in the neighborhoods we work in do not trust or appreciate law enforcement. So that's another skill set that you have that you're going to have to employ on a daily basis. As a parole agent, do not become complacent. You have your training, you're going to get out, you're going to have your routine. Don't park in front of the parolee's house, don't stand in front of the door, don't get too comfortable. Even if it's a parolee that you know is not a problem, the day you go there might be the day his cousin from somewhere else is sitting on the couch. You go in the house and the guy's sitting on the couch with a blanket over him, and you don't know if he's got a gun under there or what the case may be. Do not relax. It's easy for me to say. I've been in situations where I'm standing outside a garage door, and then I find out that the parolee was on the other side of the garage door with a shotgun and a camera, and could have taken me out if he wanted to. But be aware of your surroundings. Don't get complacent. One of the people to my right has been a hostage before in a situation. Stuff happens. You have to be prepared Hopefully your days are relatively boring and routine, but I can tell you if it turns bad, it's going to happen in a blink of an eye, and you're going to have to make some decisions that could cost somebody their life, or your partner's, or your own. And then there's going to be the Monday morning quarterbacking about what happened. So don't get complacent. Another one of our principles that we're working to is building and strengthening our community partnerships. As parole, if you ask most people in the community, what does parole do? What are we? They don't know. They confuse us with probation. They don't really know what we do. We want to take a more visible role in the community by being actively involved in the community. We want to be active. We want to be visible. We want the public to trust us. We want to have meaningful dialogue and have the public help us with sustainable change with our clientele. And the last I will mention is be informed. We are now at a place where we want agents to have a short-term approach, goal-based supervision, and we're trying to elicit sustainable change in an individual that's going to take them beyond when they discharge parole. It's not a matter of checking boxes and just hoping a problem doesn't come up and then they discharge. That's not where we are. So one thing I wanted to mention about the caseloads, you're going to put a lot of work into a parolee or a caseload, and sure as I'm sitting here, one of the supervisors is going to tell you to transfer that case to somebody else. And you're going to get another case in return that's a mess that you're going to have to clean up. Just know that that's going to happen and it's part of the process, but don't let that discourage you. So in closing, I hope I brought a little bit of wisdom to you. Good luck in your careers. We are ecstatic to have you. You're urgently needed in the field. You are the future of this division and department, and we greatly value and appreciate you. So good luck, and I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speed. Next, I would like to provide the regional administrators an opportunity to speak to the class. Next, I would like to introduce Regional Administrator for Southern Region, Karen Thacker, who will be speaking to the class via online. So please welcome Karen Thacker.
Exciting day, so I won't take too much of your time. I want to congratulate you on your accomplishment. I want to welcome you to the Division of Adult Parole Operations, and let you know that you finished this first step in your learning journey. But the parole agent job is very complex. There's always new situations that arise, and it really takes about a good year to really feel like, okay, I have this, I know what to do if this situation arises or that situation comes up. So give yourselves time. Don't get discouraged, because this is absolutely the best job in the state. You have made such a wise choice becoming parole agents. I fondly remember my PA1 days. I love them. It is a fantastic job, but it takes a lot of time to get to understand and know everything. So please, this is a very difficult time to be coming out of the academy because the offices are not fully staffed. There's not people around. Please be sure to go to your PA2s and PA3s. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Just try not to ask the same question twice. Write it down, remember that part, and move on. But give yourselves time and really enjoy this job, because you get to impact people's lives. Your success is not your client's success or failure. It's how much you continue to try to help them change and provide resources to them and their families. So just welcome, congratulations, and I'm very proud of you all.
Thank you, Ms. Thacker. Next, I'll introduce Regional Administrator Denise Labar, who will also be speaking to us via online. Please welcome Denise Labar.
Good morning. Congratulations on the start of your new journey as a parole agent. I can still remember sitting in those seats as if it were yesterday, feeling nervous and excited about my new journey as a parole agent. Over the years, I've seen the progress in the division, such as moving from handwritten notes and carrying a binder full of face sheets and paper to a smartphone where you can voice to text, speech capabilities to your notes. This graduating class will receive the most benefit from the modernization of parole, specifically how parole agents perform their jobs and the tools used to do it. However, what does not change is our ability to positively impact the lives of the parolees in the community. Parole is not just about ensuring public safety, although that is a huge part of our job. This career is also about ensuring parolees receive the services necessary to successfully transition to the community, which is an important role that our parole agents play. The work you will do has a lasting impact on the safety and well-being of the community as a whole. Learning this job takes time. I expect for you to know when you need to ask for help and get the assistance you need. I expect each of you to walk with integrity and always strive to represent the best of the division. In closing, thank you for your hard work, taking on this role, and I applaud your success to this point. Welcome Class 121 to the Division of Adult Parole Operations family. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lord.
Each basic parole agent academy class elects a class president who embodies the characteristics they're looking for in a friend, partner, and leader. For this academy class, 121 elected Elijah Carone. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Carone to the podium to give us some insight on their experiences as a class.
Well, good morning. Welcome to the graduation ceremony of Class 121P. My name is Elijah Carone, and I'm honored to be here today. On behalf of Class 121, I'd like to welcome all of the Division of Adult Parole Operations dignitaries and training staff. I'd also like to welcome our friends and family who'll be watching this at a later time, probably with us sitting next to them. And we as a class just want to say that we appreciate your support, and we wouldn't be standing here today if it weren't for the faith and support that all of you have shown us. In order to understand where we're going, it's important to know where we've been. One statement that we've heard repeated from our instructors was, wow, there's a lot of time and experience represented in this room. In fact, they were correct, 468 years to be exact. In this room, these students represent 468 years of experience and service. A large majority of those years have been spent protecting the public and performing the duties of officers, sergeants, lieutenants, and counselors. Many of those years have been spent in social work or probation, but all of those years have prepared us for an endeavor we stand ready to face today, parole. Interestingly, there's one number which might surprise you, and that number is 102. Now, 102 doesn't represent the temperature of a few of our students throughout the academy. You know who you are. You shall remain nameless today. But 102 represents the number of combined years it took for these agents to become parole agents. 102 years were spent in this room attempting to become a parole agent. When I think about that number and I look at this class, I feel a sense of pride in knowing that each and every agent sitting here today, you didn't quit. When the first interview didn't go the way that you had hoped, you didn't quit. When the location that you wanted wasn't available, you didn't quit. When your education wasn't accepted and you had to go back to college, you didn't quit. When you heard the word no, you didn't quit. You're looking at a room of 35 men and women who refused to give up, and that resilience carried through this academy. When the climate of society said being on the streets isn't a good idea, one of our students was quoted as saying, "Then who will assist in changing the narrative of the community that I grew up in?" When COVID hit us and sent us home for 4 weeks, we didn't quit. When Agent Corral said, "See you Saturday," we didn't quit. I believe standing here today are the best of the best. I'd venture to say one of the most educated, resilient, strong, and motivated classes to ever walk across this stage. I know that these 35 agents are committed to being agents of change. And how do I know that? I asked you all. I asked you why you joined parole, and some of your answers inspired me, as I'm sure they'll inspire those that are here today and listening online. One agent in this room stated, I joined DAPO because in DAPO, I'll still get to be in law enforcement, but will also get the opportunity to interact with offenders in a positive manner. I hope to not only make an impact on offenders' lives, but also the lives of their children and loved ones. Another agent in this room stated, my ultimate goal is to effect change by helping parolees through their reintegration and utilize all available resources to assist in keeping them out of prison. I could quote many, many more of these, but they all fall along the same lines. There's no doubt in my mind that these 35 agents will play an integral role in changing the narrative of law enforcement for the better in the communities that we're about to enter. To the DAPO staff today, I want to say thank you, a collective thank you from all of us. Whether it was motivating us to be in our seats on time or ensuring us we'd all pass a test no matter how much we stressed, you were the support that we needed to make it through the last 11 weeks. We've learned some things from you that will stick with us for the coming years. For example, if you're on time, you're late. And attention to detail, as Agent Robles said, attention to detail, people. And I'm pretty sure that after the first week with Agent Balanza, most of us went out, bought a piece of workout equipment, stopped drinking rock stars, and refused to touch the Academy cookies. Was that just me? Okay, that was just me. To our family and friends, I just want to say thank you. Many of you have endured nights of absent husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, moms, and dads as we buried ourselves in a study guide or stressed about an upcoming test. You supported us when we had to create a space at home without distraction so that we could awkwardly stare into a screen for 4 weeks. Some of you even provided some great comic relief for the rest of us when one of us accidentally left the mute button off. To my classmates, I want to say thank you. Thank you for proving that regardless of where we've come from or the background that we bring to this table, we can all unite in one direction towards a common goal, which I'm proud to say we did. Welcome to parole.
Thank you. It has been a DAPO tradition to acknowledge some outstanding students from class 121. The Best Partner Award is a student who has exemplified leadership qualities and maintained a positive attitude, displayed great teamwork, and encouraged others' student success. The Best Partner Award goes to Elijah Caron. The Ideal Agent Award is a student who displayed the qualities of professionalism, integrity, hardworking, who is dependable, well-balanced, and has interpersonal skills. The Ideal Agent Award goes to Patrick Iller. Last, I would like to have Elijah Caron come up to receive a certificate of appreciation for being the class president. Mr. Caron represented his class with honor, displayed great leadership skills while at the academy and online. He went beyond what was asked of him. Mr. Caron was being a great leader and president. We want to thank you. Now, Academy Coordinator Brandon Balanza will present the certificates for their certificates of completion.
First row, please stand. Elijah Caron. Jaime Carrillo. Arturo Cisneros. Carrie Cohen. Brady Collins. Aaron Cordero. Please take your seats. Second row, please stand. Noe Cruz. Patrick Eller. Jared Fish. Alberto Gonzalez. Michonne Gray. Scott Hall. Willie Holmes. Jelani Hunter. Gregorio Jimenez. Charles Johnson. Please take your seats. Third row, please stand. Wesley Johnson. Jorge Limon. Julio Lopez. Adam Lorenzen. Keisha Loving. Ryan Luigs. Edgar Martinez. Irvin Martinez. Lindsay McGraw. Elena Medina. Please take your seats. Fourth row, please stand. Rodolfo Muniz. McKinney Sims. Landon Stifler. Tobias Tenorio. Abraham Villaseñor. Ronald White. Nicholas Wilson. Jonathan Young. Rodolfo Zavala. Please take your seats.
Thank you, Mr. Blonza. Before the oath is administered to the students, I would like to thank Assistant Deputy Director Marvin Speed, Regional Parole Administrators Ms. Thacker and Ms. Labarre, Chief Deputy Administrators Julie Kaplan and Sabrina Williams, and Academy staff for being here to congratulate these students on becoming new pro agents. Students, today you leave these Academy grounds fully trained. On Monday, you enter our communities, our neighborhoods, our streets as pro agents. Please remember earning the pro agent badge is an honor. Respect that badge and for what it stands for, and you'll get respect back. I'm proud of each one of you. Please be safe, healthy, and stay positive during these difficult times. You have worked very hard to earn the honor of being called a pro agent. Congratulations and welcome to the Dapple family. Now, I'd like to welcome again Northern Regional Administrator Denise Labarre, present the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics and administer the Oath of Allegiance.
Students, please stand and listen to the Code of Ethics. We hope you strive to embrace and uphold these beliefs and behaviors throughout your career as a parole agent in the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation.
My focus is to serve the community, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder, and to respect the constitutional rights of all people to liberty, equality, and justice. I will keep my public and private life unsullied as an example to all, and will behave in a manner that does not bring discredit to me or my agency. I will maintain courageous calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule, develop self-restraint, and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. Honest in thought and deed in both my personal and official life. I will be exemplary in obeying the law and the regulations of my department. I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudices, political beliefs, aspirations, animosities, organizational associations, or friendships to influence my decisions. With no compromise for crime and with relentless prosecution of criminals, I will enforce the law courteously and appropriately, without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities. Confidential information received in my official capacity shall remain undisclosed unless disclosure is necessary in the performance of my duty. I will never engage in acts of corruption, bribery, insubordination, or the obstruction of justice, nor will I condone such acts by other peace officers. I will immediately report acts of misconduct by staff of my agency and cooperate with all legally authorized agencies and their representatives in the pursuit of justice. I know that I alone am responsible for my own standard of professional performance and will take every reasonable opportunity to enhance and improve my level of knowledge and competence.
Academy Class 121, please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California. That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Parole agents, it is with the sincere hope of the entire division that you will enjoy a long, successful career. We wish you luck and be safe. With that being said, Class 121, you are dismissed.
Thank you, everyone. That concludes our ceremony. Just want to say congratulations. Great job. You deserved it. Thank you.